I am cold all the time, and my doggy is hot all the time. So anytime I'm in the house, it's like 70, 68 degrees in here, and I put this heater on, and anytime it goes up to 70, my dog starts to pant, and so I have to put a sweater on. She's like in here like and yes, you, Miss Ma'am. You know that you're doing it. You don't. I'd be scared. Hi. I'd be scared for you sometimes. I'll be sitting at my desk doing schoolwork. I'm trying to catch up on some of the stuff that have due that I didn't get done over the last couple weeks, since I have been having all these issues and trying to get my medication adjusted. So I was catching up, and she's very not happy right now. The vet said that she has to lose weight, and because she has to lose weight, she's limited on treats. She's going through her seasonal depression because limited outdoor time. Normally I keep the front door like able for her to go sit on the balcony in the sun, and there's limited sun, more rain. She hates the rain. So I think we're all feeling it, but I'm eating. Dang, I'm still so spacey. I've been having a weird day today. Well, weird day a lot recently. People keep I've always known like that the holidays are really hard for people. I think we I don't know if it was an undergrad or a grad school, but they said the third weekend in January is like the there's some statistic. I'll look it up right now while we eat, so I don't say the wrong thing, but because I want to remember exactly what I'm talking about, but that's like, I'm so lost. Okay, so it's called Blue Monday, and Blue Monday is a day during Mental Wellness Month. It's usually the third Monday in January. The holidays are over, and many people start to realize the consequences of their actions when caught up in the spirit of the season. Credit card bills, weight gain, and seasonal depression are associated with Blue Monday. So Blue Monday is the third Monday in January. So it said in the United States, January and February are the most difficult for people who suffer from seasonal affective disorder. Some people suffer from seasonal affective disorder during the summer months, though it is much less likely to occur. I don't know what is the third week of January blues. Blue Monday falls every year on the third Monday in January. It is supposedly the most depressing day of the year, often attributed to a cocktail of poor weather, the post-Christmas lull, stretched finances, and unattainable New Year's resolutions. So I guess, because you're like 21 days in or whatever. Let's see what the third Monday is in January. The third Monday in January this year is, goodness, my thing is 1, 2, 3. So the third Monday in January this year is January 15th. Because January 1st falls on a Monday this year. So January 1st, 15th is Blue Monday. But ever since I learned about that in school, they always talk about how the holiday season is not always happy holidays for everybody. And I've always been really conscious of that. So for me, um, the holidays have, um, it was kind of interesting because my therapist asked about it the other day. Oh, the last time I had therapy, she goes, how are the holidays for you? I already blessed my food before, but it's still kind of hot. You know, she asked like, how is the holidays for you? And I told her that, you know, growing up, I always really liked the holiday seasons because, especially Christmas, that I don't like, not so much Thanksgiving. I mean, I like food, obviously, so that's cool. But Christmas is always my favorite time of year, especially here in California, because it seemed like everybody decorated. You go in the stores, people always talking about, you know, Merry Christmas. We didn't, when I was growing up, people didn't say Happy Holidays. You know, now it's a lot more inclusive, so that's really nice to see, you know, my friends who celebrate different customs and cultures be included in that. But when I was growing up, a lot of people would even like give gifts for Christmas, that even if you know, like you go to school and they're giving out like little you know, those things like cellophane wrap like cookies, or my name, like, you know, and they'll have like the little name tag on it. Or you would be making, like school, you would make an ornament or something, like the little gingerbread, or like the little handprint ornament. Or I think a lot of people probably still have theirs. And so I felt like the holiday season was something that was really inclusive. And for me, as someone who was homeless, I didn't really get those other holidays like Easter, or like 4th of July, or, you know, like when people like, oh, we're gonna go camping for this, or we're gonna, you know, go to church, or we're gonna be with our family for Mother's Day, or like those type of things, where it's like some holidays you have to spend money, or you have memories that you have to make because you do a thing with your specific set of people. I always felt like the Christmas one, you could just go down to where I live, Macy Square in San Francisco. You could just go and the tree is lit up. You don't have to have your own tree. You don't have to have your own lights. You don't have to have your own ornament. You don't have to have your own stuff. And you are still included. So I think for me, I'll always have that fondness for them. And they'll always be my favorite because I'll co-pilot. I'll always understand how fundamental community is to the people who society thinks matters least, right? Because to me, it mattered the most that people came together and did something, even if it's for selfish reasons, even if you're just, even if you're just Macy's and you're decorating because, oh, you're trying to make sales, or you're, you're decorating, to compete with your neighbors or something. It's like, I see a lot now on social media, those things where people go around in neighborhoods and people can drive around in their car and see the nice houses, and see the nice like Christmas, I wouldn't even see like the nice houses, but the Christmassy neighborhoods where all the houses in the neighborhood kind of go to put in that effort. And it's really nice for the communities that want to experience that type of joy. And I think because we just have Halloween, and a lot of people go to those places where it's like the kids can go for the candy, but for me, I didn't always have like the costume, or Halloween, you kind of want to go with other people, or it's weird to get out of a car and then back when I was growing up, you didn't really go to a place. You kind of lived in your neighborhood and went, so it'd be weird to get out of a car and then start going trick-or-treating, and then get back in the car. Things are a lot different now than they were back then, but the Christmas one is really nice. So I always appreciate that. And so with the holidays coming, I realized it's not always happy holidays for everybody. That some people, I am, because of what we talked about in school, I always try to do a little mental health check on my friends and family or people before the holidays, before going into the holidays, before Thanksgiving, or right around the start of Thanksgiving, before, the hustle and the bustle and the heaviness of life takes over, before the cold weather really starts to set in, and before demands start to be put on people. I think a lot of times it's like either people ask for gifts and we can't fulfill that. Like, dang, I can't get that person that gift that they wanted, and how does that make me feel about myself? Like, or I gonna get this person the gift that they want, and now this is a certain level of burden or hardship or whatever, like how it said on the Blue Monday, you start to look at the financial decisions you've made, like, dang, my bills. Or I got these people the gifts that they wanted, and then look how they treat me. Like, maybe they're ungrateful, or what are they gonna do to deserve these gifts, or look how they're treating me before I gave them their gifts. Like, I bought them this gift, and now look how they're treating me leading up to it. Do I give them their gift at all? Because I've seen that happen too, like where people are like, I bought this person this gift that was a real, sorry, excuse me. I bought this person this gift that was a real, heartfelt, a thing that I really thought about and really wanted to give them, but it's like December 18th and 19th, and look what they're doing. Look at their behavior. Look at how this interaction is going. And now I'm stuck in this emotional turmoil or this mental place, and like, what do I do about that? And so all of these type of situations, one or the other, it's like all these scenarios could make the happy holidays not so happy. And it's like, I always wish for people to have a easy heart, like easiness on the heart, and or what is it, like easy mind and smoothness in their life, but it never really seems that way, other than for what those people, they say, like the smooth brained, like idiot, like when your brain is smooth, nothing impacts you. That's why they say when you're dumb, life is easy. It's so easy when you're dumb, when nothing impact you. Either that or sociopath, right? Narcissist, when you don't care, when you just don't care, when you lack that emotion. But when you're a caring person, right? Because if you don't care, you're like, whatever, it doesn't affect me. I don't care, But if you're an emotional person, or you're an empathetic person or something, like, I think life weighs on you a lot, and it weighs on me a lot of the time. So a lot of how I deal with it is try to not have expectations of people, and not so much limit people's expectations of me, but have very real boundaries for my expectations of myself. Because I want people in my life to feel safe and expect the world of me, or know that they can come to me, and that I'll be there for them. But for me to know that I won't put myself in a position where I'm the villain in my own story, right? Like that I'm not the one harming myself, and that because I did that for a long time, and I had to learn as a giving and caring person that I'll do too much, and I'll give too much, and I'll be too empathetic, or I'll put myself at an imposition, and then I'll blame the people that love me for not asking for things, but me giving into things that I could have put a boundary up, and they would have been fine with the boundary. Like, so for example, the other day somebody, they had asked me, what do you do? It was a really nice young man, came in my Discord server. So if you guys aren't in the Discord server, and you ever want to talk or just hop on a video chat or anything, my Discord pings my phone, and video call, whatever. But he came in and he said, hey, I have a question. What do you do when people ask stuff from you? Like, how do you deal with that? And I said, are you talking about money? And he said, yeah, pretty much. Like, what do you do when people ask you to borrow money? And I was like, oh, that's... I said, here's the thing. What do you do when people ask you to borrow money? I said, I don't lend money. That's not a thing I do anymore. I don't lend people money. I've learned too much in my years of being on this earth that the ferventness that people will ask you for money is the same amount of energy that they will go to dodging you when you go to get it back. They will duck and dodge. They will make excuses. They will not they will not be there when you need that money back from them. So I don't lend people money. I will give you money, and I have a certain amount of money I will give, and that amount changes based on who the person is. I will give my brother a different amount of money than I will give to a random, friend or colleague or a neighbor, or but I don't lend money because I don't want to ruin a relationship over money that I could just have in my mind. Like, this was a thing that I did out of the kindness of my heart to help somebody and to build on our relationship, build adding to our relationship, and I gave them this money. So say somebody asked me to borrow $500. Like, no, I will not lend you $500. I will give you 100. I'll give you 100. Maybe I'll give you 150. If you're my brother, I might just give you the 500. I don't think my brother will ever ask me. I mean, my brother's asked me for money before. And oftentimes people will give me the money back, like, without me having to run them down. But I don't ever lend it with the assumption that it's going to be paid back to me. That's not, oh, I'll pay it back, I promise. If you do, you do, but I'm giving this to you. If you pay me, that's not what I'm saying. That is not that people don't ever pay me, return that money to me, or don't. I just, in my mind, in the way that I handle those relationships, I don't lend money. That's not me. I'm never gonna run somebody down, and I'm never gonna ruin a relationship. I'm never gonna over money ever again, because I've lost relationships. And I've also come to an understanding that if someone has gotten to me at some point down the line, you have gone through your mom, your dad, your siblings, your grandma, your grandpa, your aunts, your uncles, your whole extended family, your everybody that you know, your friends, whatever, that you've gotten to me to asking to borrow money. So whoever that may be in the line, like, if my friends ask me, you've already asked your parents, I know, or you haven't. And then why didn't you ask them first? Because you don't need the money, because you don't plan on paying the money back, because you need it for something that's not serious enough, because you don't respect me and you're not going to give me the money back. I don't know why you didn't, because you've ruined those relationships so far by borrowing money from them, and not because you're not, maybe you're not good with borrowing money, and those people in your life won't lend you that money no more. But I've had to become the not villain in my story. I've had to be the person that has to have very real boundaries for myself, so that the people in my life know that they can depend on me. And based on the relationship that we have, I have very close friendships with people who I've been friends with for, the mother of my godchild. I've been friends with her for almost 20 years. My other best friend, I've been friends with since we were in 5th grade. So also almost 20 years. My other best friend, we've been friends since 9th grade. So another one of my friends I've been friends with since I was 20, so going on 15 years. Like, I keep people in my life for a very long time because once I once I have a love for somebody and once I care for somebody, it tends to be for a lifetime. No matter what they do, no matter how they act, I don't really have a choice in how I care for them. Unless their behavior is tremendously egregious to where I realized that they were fake or that they were tricking me, that it was never really true on their side, then I'm going to care for that person forever. So I have to have good relationships with these people, and that meant figuring out ways for me not to be a bad person to them, right? So I had to stop doing things where it'd be like, sacrificing so much of my time or whatever, my time, energy, effort, money, and then being upset. Like, why did I do this? Now I can't do the things that I need to do to take care of myself, because that was a very real situation for a while. And I'm glad that the people in my life, stuck still very much love me. So, and I love them. I love them very much. But that's one example of something that I had to put up a very real boundary. And I think that a lot of people would do better by also not necessarily loaning or lending people money. I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure about everybody's financial situation, but the person had asked me, the young man said, well, what happens when you're doing better than them? Because he said something about jokes. He said, I'm trying to make the same jokes that I made before I made money with my friend, and I'm making more money now than he is, and we both used to not make I think what he was elaborating to was that they both used to be at the same financial situation, and now he's elevated his financial situation and his friend has not. And he's still making jokes about poor people, and his friend feels slighted by it. And what I elaborated to him was that I'm probably not the best person to ask advice on that, because I'm genuinely friends with the people in my life. So when my financial situation gets better, I help the people around me elevate themselves. Like, I give them advice, or I try to see where, like, all of us have every single one of my friends has grown educationally, financially, mentally. Like, none of us are bums. We don't let the person be a bum in our life, because we all want to see each other win. That was never a thing. And it's not based on us giving each other money. It's by giving the resources or the knowledge and the skill and the power to do it yourself, and just the desire for the people in your life to win. and not being like a me person. Like, oh, I've always had the statement of, I want to know a billionaire. I either want to be a billionaire or I want to know one. Like, I want to know a billionaire, and I'm fairly certain, like, I'm not going to be the first one there. But like, if I could help any one of my friends get there, or anybody I know get there, please let me know a billionaire one day. Please let me help you get there. Please, if there's anything I could do ever, please let me help you. Because like, if I could water your seeds, if I could fucking watch your flowers grow, if I could contribute to that in any way, I want to be a part of somebody's success, so I could know. So I don't think I'm gonna be the first one to be a billionaire, I promise. Like, but I want to know one. I certainly do. So it's like, why does every why do I don't understand why so many people just think like your star is the only one that needs to shoot straight up or shine. Like, you can hope for the best for the other people around you, and you, by proxy, if you really genuinely care about them, you'll succeed. Your life will get better just by knowing them, just by seeing them succeed. If you're an intelligent person, or a caring person, or a person who soaks in the things that surround you, the goodness that surrounds you, like, you're gonna see the person that you love doing great, and that's gonna rub off on you. The, like, I don't know, like, when my friends start to eat healthy, I want to eat healthier. When I see my friends making better, kinder decisions, being, more health conscious, like, or, doing career advancements. Like, I went back to school this semester, and all of my friends, when I started talking to them about going back to school, they all started looking up little community colleges in their area, like what classes they could take. They're like, oh, I could take this class or this class. I could just add one on. I could do this. I could just. They're like, I miss school so much. I live this. So it's like, just knowing somebody who does something cool or has an excitement for life rubs off on you. I mean, I think so. But what do I know? I don't know. My brain is so... What do I know? I'm supposed to be eating. Now my co-pilot done went to sleep on us. Y'all went to sleep. She done went to sleep. She done... So... I don't know it needs to be the one main stage and center. Like, I can be a supporting actress. I can be an extra. I can be the backstage person sewing the hem onto. I'll sew the buttons onto your shoes. Like, I'll sew the buttons onto your petticoat. I don't even need to be an extra on the screen. Like, I could be the person sweeping up the backstage. Just let me be around. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I just want to know somebody doing something cool, doing great in life. Like, that's it. I don't even understand why. So when he was asking me about, the jokes about why his friend was upset, I don't think I come from that mentality. So, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. This chicken is kind of fire. I think I was talking about the Blue Monday. So I'm going to try to check on people, make sure that it's, you know, happier, or have an understanding that it's not always a happy holiday, but at least if people have a conscious understanding. I think that's the first thing, is an awareness of it, and not like forcing that, like, you're supposed to be happy, but like, let's keep our head on a swivel. Let's have an understanding of what we're going through, and just know that the war field of emotions is upon us. A lot is required of us during the holidays. They have done a whirlwind of an advertisement campaign of happiness, and that is not they throw family at you. Like, a lot of that was the thing that we were talking about in one of my groups the other day, was you don't get to pick who your family is, and a lot of the time your family is going to be people who are at a different education level, a different understanding level of life than you. You know, I'm constantly having to tell people this, like, you know, have y'all heard of this thing called the Darwin Award? Can you comment down below if you've ever heard of the Darwin Award? It's one of my most favorite things to comment on, like, people doing ridiculous things. Whenever I see Florida Man videos, I'm always like, Darwin Award, or things. If you know what the Darwin Awards, have I ever heard of this? Just put like Darwin Award down in the comments. But like, we all know that Charles Darwin talked about evolution, and that birds, you know, these certain birds were on an island, and the bird would eat this worm that was like in the ground or something, or in a log. God dang, I wish I could remember all of these things. But, and the beak of this bird was not long enough, and then the next iteration of the bird, like the next baby that it had, the beak would get longer, and then the next iteration, the beak was longer, and then it was easier for the baby bird and the offspring and the next offspring to get the worm. And so the bird evolved so that it could adapt to its environment easier and easier, to have its physical traits, or have an easier time in its environment. The bird have an easier time in its environment. And we know that things evolve, like plants, animals, COVID diseases. Things evolve, things mutate, and things evolve, and things but we very rarely talk about how we ourselves have evolved from our parents. And I think with the holidays coming up, I probably have to do another video. Let me know in the comments too, if you, or come in the Discord and we can talk about it more. But I think, you know, we don't talk about how much we evolve so much in this specific time period in the last 20 years from our parents, like specifically with the vastness of community support and the pushing of mental health on people with traumatic experiences, the dismantling of sexism and patriarchy in like so much of people's lives. Like women have jobs now, whereas like many people in my grandparents' generation and even in my mom's generation, like didn't see their parents as full-fledged. I think when my mom was born, women couldn't even have bank accounts. So when I say patriarchy, and people will argue left, up, and down, like, well, it's still women still don't earn the same amount as men. Like, girl, women couldn't get apartments on their own and houses on their own. Like, yes, we still have a lot of way to go, but can we just acknowledge like what those generations of people had to go through, and how much we need to have empathy and sympathy, and we need to interact with our parents that we have evolved, and that they may be interacting with us with a little bit of ways in which that they have not evolved, on top of the fact that the internet is so much at our disposal and a part of our way of life, and has been for, oh my God, like, you do not even understand the things that I have said to my mom where I'm like, what? I know. Did you just really say that to me? Like, what are you talking about? Like, the fact that she doesn't understand that South America and Canada are the same distance from the equator be perplexing the fuck out of me. Like, you know that the equator, that it's cold in South America. What? When I told her the other day that Australian Santa wears board shorts and a surfboard because Christmas in Australia is during the summer, and she was like, and I was like, and we were like the Spider-Man meme, like looking back and forth at each other. And I was like, what you mean? And she's like, what you mean? And I was like, nah, girl, what do you mean? And she was like, what do you mean? And I was like, you know how we have daylight savings, and you know how we have like the earth rotation and like seasons, and like, so like, y'all need to just start saying random things to your parents, and like see what like the internet has taught you that it hasn't taught them, because some things your parents and like other generation and people just get so frustrated with their parent and don't have like this empathy, and then you go into the holiday season like, oh, I just have this like hard relationship with my family, and it's like, because you have evolved with all of the things around. You've probably traveled or have friends that have traveled, or you've seen things and done things and experienced things, and are a sponge to your experiences, and your parents have not. You have gone through things, and your parents went through things and did not have mental health as a pushing factor. Like, today, if somebody, like, we tell men today, talk about your feelings. Your dad didn't have that, I'll tell you for sure. We didn't prioritize men's mental health whatsoever. Women, for sure, sexual assault, my grandparents' generation, oh nah, no, that was not a thing. They did not talk about being sexually assaulted. Nope. No ma'am. There was not therapy for that. There was no mental health for that. And I'm almost certain that my grandparents' generation talking about that thing to my parents' generation may have been pushing on them whatever traumas they had. But mental health wasn't a thing, and so those people are traumatized, and they need the interaction from an evolved group of people who have that empathy of like, hey, I get that you didn't have all the same resources that I had at my disposal that have made me into a better, stronger, faster person who's more adapt to my environment. Like, and going into the holidays, people struggle so much because they're like, I don't like, oh, being around my family and being around these people is hard. And it's like, oh, I wish that people didn't struggle so much to find kindness for their families, because if you could just look at it from a different perspective, you know, if you could just see them for who they are, as people who are struggling to figure it out, just like we all are, but struggling to figure it out with none of the skills that we had, struggling to figure it out with the damage and trauma, and being told like over and over again that like I couldn't even imagine what my grandparents' generation went through. And I wish I was more of an adult to help my grandma before she passed. I wish I was more of an adult to help her have a better existence on this earth and to not struggle as much as she did. Yeah.